Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of I'll Call You Right Back podcast with me, your host. My name is Chad Medved. This is my show. Appreciate you being here. First thing is first, we got some business to attend to. Two of the big names in the city. Two names that ring some bells. Turner Dairy Farms, the creators of Turner's Premium Iced Tea, and Steel City. Steel City is a clothing company out of Pittsburgh that basically, they have a t-shirt for anything Yinzer, Pittsburgh that you could ever imagine. So these two collided to bring you one of the, it's a Yinsplosion, as Mikey and Big Bob would call it, but a collab for the summertime. So last year, Steel City and Turner's released a collaborative line of clothing on Steel City's website, all hitters, and they are coming back with 3 more designs that will be available on Saturday. You can go to steelcity.com and purchase yours now, and, it's perfect weather for a Turner's iced tea. I said it on here last time, but summertime, nice, hot outside. 95 degrees out today. All right, nothing better than an ice cold Diet Turner's Premium, and I'll swear on that. But we got a special guest this week. Very, very special guest. Returning guest, Matt Christie, the brains behind Streets on Carson and Streets on the Fly. He is the head chef and co-owner with his wife, Lauren. And I bring Matt back this week to kind of catch up on life. He was on very, very early. I believe he was on episode 22, and then I believe he was on episode, 70-something. So, it's been some time. We've both been grinding. We've both been working. Time has passed. Things have happened. Accolades have been reached, and were attained. Maybe attained. That's probably the right word. But, I just wanted to get Matt back on and, kind of talk about where things have been going the last few years. He just dropped a brand new menu, a lot of new hitters, a lot of old faces that are back again, that I thought were new menu items. I honestly thought these were just new menu items, but these were from the beginning of the restaurant days. But Matt, a very good friend that I made through this podcast and continued to, just stay in touch with over the last few years. Someone that I look up to very, very much. I respect him and Lauren and everything they do down in the South Side. And if you listen to this podcast at all, I'm sure you've heard me rant and rave about Streets on Carson. Multiple people that I've talked to on here all rant and rave about Streets on Carson. You can go down to the South Side right now and, get yourself a table, sit down and have a meal that you will not forget. And I'm talking, this ain't just your regular shit. This is street foods from around the world done proper by a professional. I love Matt. I love Lauren. I love everything they do. You could head over to their Instagram right now at Streets on Carson and at Streets on the Fly to keep up to date on what is new at Streets on Carson. And Streets on the Fly on Instagram is probably your best bet to keep in touch with the food truck. They have a food truck called Streets on the Fly, which specializes in the best wings that you'll eat in the city, French fries, and some pretty amazing sandwiches. I don't know, actually, if you would call them a sandwich. They do a Philly cheesesteak. They do a buffalo chicken, but are those technically sandwiches? That's debatable, I guess. But I'll quit talking your ear off. But before I do, I urge you to go down to Streets on Carson and try out their brand new menu. You just listen to the episode and hear about, the passion that goes behind and the method behind the madness whenever a chef like Matt is putting some shit together. But I'll quit talking your ear off. So without further ado, episode 207 of I'll Call You Right Back podcast with Matt Christie of Streets on Carson and Streets on the Fly.
I gotta use the telephone.
Hello?
Telephone.
I'll call you right back. Call you right back.
Telephone.
I'll Call You Right Back podcast. All right, toss some headphones on. This is different than last time. Last time we were in the trenches. It's a little bit more official this time.
Oh, all right.
So it's you could hear yourself. You could pull this mic up to you. You want to stay like, just like you don't have to be all up
Right
on
here.
it. Up closer.
Even closer?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because you're going to be able to, like, if you could hear it pulling away and stuff like that, you know what I mean?
What?
If you're up on it, sounds good. But
Got it.
it's been a while since we've done this. Do you have any idea when the last time you were on here was?
Nah, it was a clip ago.
Okay, so you've been on here 3 times, technically. The first time, episode 22, part 1, that was like a split with you and Narf.
Yep.
He was about having a show at Streets.
Yep. The debut.
Yeah, the debut. That was the first time I met you. He linked us up. But that was episode 22. That was June 5th, 2018. So that was almost 4 years ago. Deep. Second appearance on here, episode 70, May 16th, 2019. That was deep too. And third quick appearance was on, I did that like my favorite small business episodes. That was episode 145, and that was December 17th, 2020.
In the thick of it.
In the thick of it. And that was like, it was pretty weird because like the last time we talked, I mean, it was just, life was normal, You were facing everyday struggles as a restaurant owner faces without like COVID and all this weird shit. And now we're just like in this weird.
Yeah, it changed quite a bit since then.
Quite a bit. But all right. So
But still pushing.
Yeah, still pushing strong. 10 toes down.
Yep.
All right. So before we get too deep into this, I do an opening segment called "What's in the Cup." Okay. What do you got?
I got this Gatorade Cherry Lime, the new fit.
I haven't had this one. I've only had the watermelon.
It's good, bro. Since the last time I was here, I was, drowning myself in the sponsor. And then
we all started to realize we can't have 60 grams of sugar in one sitting.
So I started drinking all water and stuff like that.
You
Quit
feel
smoking
better?
cigarettes.
Yeah.
Like all kinds of shit since then. I forgot that, too.
I was just going to bring that up now that you said that. You quit drinking Turners, but like you also quit smoking Squares.
Yes. I'm on Newports.
You're a whole new person.
A new person. Arguably healthier than I've ever been.
You feel better?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I will be 39 on July 9th.
39.
Yeah.
1 year away from it.
1 year.
Are you someone who like gets like weird about your age?
Nah. They're all earned.
Yeah.
I made it a lot farther than I thought I was going to come, so.
Yeah, I was never. I didn't think I was going to be here. It's it's weird that some people get weird about their age. Some people like don't want to like celebrate their birthdays, anything like that. I'm kind of indifferent. I don't really feel like I'm not like scared.
Nah, I'm not scared of anything. The only thing that sucks, honestly, is that like I'm at that like phase, honestly, where my body isn't what it used to be. You know what I mean? It hurts more than it ever has. Like, doesn't necessarily rebound from pain like it used to. Like, still heals from wounds nice, but like
Takes a little bit longer.
it takes a little bit longer. Shit hurts.
That regeneration time is like 2 times as long.
Yeah.
So you run, arguably one of my favorite spots in the city. That was a topic of us becoming friends, was I wanted to talk to you because you run a dope spot, Streets on Carson in the South Side. For people that don't know what it is, I'm sure a lot do, but like, how do you describe what you have at your restaurant?
Honestly, when it comes down to like the brass tacks of it, it's sandwiches and small plates at the end of the day. But it's a little more than that. You know what I mean? Like, everything got a goofy name, so to say, but the food's all basic at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
It's like the proper version of everything that we know, kind of.
Yeah, it's dressed up.
Dressed up, proper.
Yeah.
Now, I think that one of the conversations we had on here, I kind of centered on like the effort and like the honor you got to put into your dishes, because the dishes that you create in your restaurant are kind of like the highlighted dishes from all these nooks and crannies of the world, correct?
Correct.
It's like the street foods that everyone is making. So for you to do it, you got to do it with some respect.
Yeah. You got to delve into it and make sure you, pay homage and stuff like that. Like our current menu and stuff that we just dropped.
A lot of new stuff.
Yeah, a lot of new stuff. And the thing is me and my guy D that works with me and stuff like that, like who grew up in New York and stuff like that. What we started talking about was, like we focus on a lot of stuff outside the country we have over time at the restaurant and stuff like that. And it's like, what about like a East Coast summer? And I was like, I like the feel of that. So we started looking at bodega food and stuff like that, and desserts from down south, and like try to stay within the country for the change a little bit and stuff like that.
And that's where you kind of landed on what we've been talking about back and forth, and what I haven't kind of got to try yet. But as I learned, the chopped cheese, iconic now. I wasn't hip to it. Once I saw it on your menu, and you said that it was like a big deal in culture, I started looking it up, and randomly I was watching My Next Guest with David Letterman. Mm-hmm. So he sits down with all these random ass celebrities, and he was interviewing Cardi B. Uh-huh. All right, and Cardi B takes him into a bodega and gets him a chopped cheese. And I was like, that's such a small world, and it's so cool. It was literally yesterday I was watching it.
For real?
Yeah, yesterday morning, because all these new episodes came out, and it's a super dope show if you never watched it. But I was like, I want to hear what Cardi B's all about. Knew nothing about her. Uh-huh. Rolled into a bodega, and she was like, we're getting you a fucking chopped cheese. And I was like, this is, kind of meant to be. And after I watched that, I was like, fuck, I didn't try it whenever I was down there.
Yeah,
I picked the porchetta whenever I was there again.
I mean, which is also a heater in its own right and stuff like that. But that chopped cheese, like, it's something special. There's something about chopping that burger all up and mixing the cheese and the grease and everything coming together in this thing in itself. That's just beautiful.
A perfect harmony.
Yeah, like it's stupid simple. And I mean, nobody in Pittsburgh knows what a chopped cheese is, but I'm selling the shit out of them. And I mean, I think that's a direct result of it reads as like a cheeseburger hoagie or whatever the hell you would call it in Pittsburgh at a pizza shop.
Yeah.
It reads as that on the menu, but like, brother, it ain't that. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I did not know what it was at all. Like I never, whenever I was reading the menu, I was like, I knew you had the burger, but I was like, oh, this is like a burger where he has all different types of meat that he chops up and he puts together in a patty. But then like, now that I'm hip to it, it's not that.
Nah, it's the same burger that our burger is.
Yeah.
Like it's the same exact thing, but like when you eat that, like it tastes nothing like that scenario.
And as I was getting like real heady into the chopped cheese of like why doing that rather than just like a regular burger because it makes it a little bit messy, I also like kind of, I was getting kind of down a rabbit hole. You ever see them like natural like ice cream places where they chop all that shit up?
I've worked next to those on my food truck. People come out and like do those like anti-heat plates, and I've also seen people come out with those with the jug of liquid nitrogen in just a fucking bowl.
Yeah, so it's wild. It's wild because I'm like, oh, this is like just a novelty. We're paying extra money to have all this shit just like it's a little bit, but it's chopped up. But the benefit of it all, along with the chopped cheese, is as they chop this up, each spoonful of everything you gets an equal amount of the ingredients, rather than like, I don't know. I was getting heady into it the other day.
Yeah, bro. And the thing was, I had no clue what it was, like, because it's real indigenous. My dude D was telling me that it's like it's like literally like Harlem and the Bronx. Like that's it. He's like, you can't go to Manhattan and get one. Like he's like, that's
what Cardi B said. She said like, the fucking Bronx started to chop cheese.
And I didn't know nothing about it. And I'm just like, researching things of the world and stuff like that, like seeing what's going on one day. And I holler at him. I'm like, bro, what's up with this from Harlem? And he was like, dude, you don't know what that is? He's like, you never had one of those? And I'm like,
you've just became hip to this recently.
As soon as you did.
Wow. That's wild.
Like, I'm not even joking, like just a couple months ago. And like when we were playing around with things, I was like, I ain't even running this one as a special. Yeah. We made it a few times, like was fucking with it and like tweaking it and stuff like that. And I was like,
hitters.
I'm just saving this thing. I was like, this thing's an instant classic, no doubt. I mean, literally my menu's been out for 2 weeks. That means I've been open 10 days. I've had 6 chopped cheeses.
Yeah.
That ain't no joke. Like I'm in love with the fucking thing.
I know. And I know that that's definitely next on there. Now, I mean, like before we get into like the current times of everything like that, I did a lot of like, I put that questionnaire out there for people to submit questions.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they might have not listened to the first couple episodes, but they kind of wanted to know your intro of food and like kind of how you kind of got started with life, you know? How did you kind of fall in love with food? Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, like I said, when we first sat down the first time and stuff like that, like I never wanted to be nothing else. I never wanted to do nothing else. So forever as I can remember, like before kindergarten, 5 years old, like this is what I said I wanted to do. I wanted to be a chef.
Yeah.
And then I just planned my life around such.
I remember you saying,
never let go of it.
I remember you saying you watched a lot of like cooking shows whenever you were younger.
I didn't watch cartoons and shit like that. I watched Jacques Pepin and Julia Childs, and I'd watch QED.
Yeah.
Watch Rick.
You already know that.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to Rick Seaback every day.
Real shit. But like, I didn't watch cartoons or nothing. I like geeked on the whole idea of wanting to be a chef. And this was before there was like cooking shows or famous chefs. I mean, like I said, I'm going to be 39.
Yeah.
Like when I went to culinary school, I think that was like the year Emerald came on TV.
Yeah.
And when like being a chef became like thought after as a cool thing, like I was one of the last generations that wanted to like just do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like a Nike ad.
Real shit. And like me, like once I found out like what it actually meant to do this and like, you know, the underbelly aspect of it, so to say, like I was like, sign me up. Like I'm way into this.
Yeah, it's dope because it's like, you know, I feel like the cooking industry is kind of people's defaults, like a lot of people's defaults. Kids that like I've been friends with or growing up with, they kind of just end up in a kitchen and never leave. So to hear, you know, your end of it being something that you've always wanted to do, I always thought that was cool with what you do with Streets. Like even when we come there, you know, like it's a raw environment. Like you have fucking ODB playing, Tupac, you got Prince playing, but like everything is just like proper, delicious, and it's your own style. It's
but
like
that's the thing. It's that me and my wife, like this isn't what I always did. Like I come from being pretentious.
Yeah.
Like I come from being stuffy. Like that's what my background is. Like
you worked French cuisine, correct?
Yeah. Like I worked real fucking hard to do whatever I want and act how I want and to play fucking that shit in my dining room and like still get away with it. Like I paid my dues and I earned my fucking stripes to get where I'm at and in a whole other style of game than making sandwiches. That's
Now,
for sure.
French cuisine was something that you wanted to get into originally?
No, it just felt that way. Like I went to culinary school and then after culinary school, I wound up in Michigan at the Amway Grand Plaza Hotel, and there was like all these different departments you could go to, and I was the only one that went to like the Four Diamond fucking French restaurant, and I think what that diamond is, I'm not sure. Nonetheless, I worked at the highest rated restaurant in the state of Michigan at the time, and like that's what and it was a classical French kitchen. That's what kind of set me down that avenue of geeking out on like that kind of angle of shit.
That's like some militarized type like process and way things go.
Like you can't speak, you can't talk, and like there's a French guy fucking screaming at you. but like yeah, like my life and so if you actually know me personally and know how laid back and lackadaisical I am about things, but at the end of the day, like I'm really squared away about like my business and like how I approach food. But like you can't live like that forever. Like that's no way to live. Like, I paid my dues to be happy. Like I know how to run shit and stuff like that. And like
you know how to do it proper.
Yeah, like I don't need to act that way and like give off that same kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's my dream and stuff like that. And like everybody else is like cast members in my dream with me. You know what I mean? So it's for me to take the load of the bullshit. So like people don't have to be miserable.
Yeah.
Like I was like getting treated by dudes like that, you know?
Now, I mean, if I didn't know you as well as I do now and I just kind of met you, I would be like, there's no way that this dude's going to listen to someone fucking scream in his face about like how shit is cut up and everything like that. But I could tell by the way that you are now that like you respected that and like that's the like you could respect that way of doing it the right way.
Yeah.
But that's it's cool. It's cool to see that.
It's one of those things where it's I'm thankful for the way I was raised, but at the same time I see the error in the way of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a good way to look at it for sure.
Real shit though, you know what I mean? Like it made me who I am and be able to do what I do today, but at the same time, like
You're not going to do it that way.
I'm not going to treat anybody the way I was ever treated.
Yeah, that's fair. You did it so other people don't have to.
That's it. Like I said, it's up for me to take the brunt. Like I shouldn't be putting that kind of stress on anybody.
Yeah.
Like it's my bullshit, not yours.
Now, I know running a restaurant in itself is something crazy, especially during a pandemic. And I thought one of the things that I was like, you know, as I knew that we were preparing for this conversation, like I was thinking about things like just in the past. And I thought about when the pandemic happened and you and I were talking back and forth, and then you were talking about Sunday dinners.
Yeah.
And I feel like you were one of the early ones that jumped onto that. And I thought it was a super innovative, cool way to kind of just make some shit shake while we were in a fucking weird situation. And it was dope with how many people showed out. Now, as I feel like the whole COVID talk is all just kind of, you know, we're all kind of done talking about it. But yeah. I'm curious, like, as a business, when that shit happened, you know, how crazy was it for you mentally? Because it's just you and Lauren, and you guys have a few employees, you know, you're not some crazy kitchen. And I know that you were working hours and hours and hours by yourself because, you know, shit
I was the only employee there.
Yeah. It's just like, you know,
with help from friends.
How crazy was that for you?
It was nuts. Like, I mean, it was one of the things I've said to people, like when I've talked about it and stuff like that, is I'm like, it's one of those situations where you think about all those conversations you had in your car with your dad when you were a kid, or your uncle or your grandpa, or whoever you looked up to as a child, and it's like they told you those stories about what the measure of being a man really is, and like what it means to like live up to your responsibilities in this world. And I mean, I had a pregnant wife too. Like my wife was pregnant. I was growing out of my living situation. Like I had to buy a house. I
forgot about that.
I had all kinds of fucked up shit going on at that juncture, and I was working my fucking ass off to keep the machine moving. Yeah, you know what I mean. But like, you know, you just remember those conversations and what it means to like persevere.
Either run towards it or run away from it.
That's it. You know what I mean? And like, I've always been raised that you don't ever sit still. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I just didn't sit still. I started dodging the punches and rolling with the times, you know? Yeah, just figuring out shit along the way. Such a weird idea to think about it. You know, it's just integrated into our world, COVID. Yeah. It's how everyone kind of makes some shit work. Now, in the midst of all this, you know, we have Streets on the Fly. Yeah. Now, I think that in episode 70 when we talked, it was either episode 70. When did you start Streets on the Fly? Do you remember? It like I only ran it like 2 weeks, and then the pandemic. That's what I figured. And then I shut the truck down. Now, because I remember us talking about it, and I can't remember if we talked on recording or off recording, you saying that you were going to like get a truck ready. Now, your mindset behind, you know, obviously a restaurant in itself is crazy. Yeah. What is your mindset behind starting your own truck and this whole different, just, you know, this whole different factor that you got to kind of work out? Well, to be completely honest with you, my thought process was I was like, we need to do something else so we could buy a house, and that was the plan. And have you ever had any idea that you wanted to do a food truck? Because I feel like that was the first dream of life. A food truck was that, but like, I mean the thought of like being able to get like a building and stuff like that, that's like a massive hill to climb before the thought of having a truck. You know you're just like... So I wanted to do that at first, but the laws and everything were so kooky and crazy that like I was like, nah, like this is just going to be a headache. And this was only when there was like a handful of people out there really trying to work it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I was like, nah, just put it away. And then like things happen in life, and then I looked for another brick and mortar. I didn't even want to do a truck. I was looking for another building to do. And,
wow.
The same thing I'm doing on that.
Yeah.
I was going to do just in a building.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find anything I wanted, and everybody I talked to I wasn't feeling it. And like the thought of renting a spot and stuff like that and having someone squeeze me for rent in a couple of years, like I just...
Yeah, didn't want to have to deal with it.
I don't think I could handle something like that. That would bother me very deeply.
You could deal with a French guy screaming at you about how you cut shit up,
but not a landlord looking at you
Yeah.
going, "Hey, I see you're
Slumlord.
doing really well,
Yeah.
so like your rent's going up really high." You know what I mean? Like
Joe Pesci in the Super.
yeah, you know what I mean.
So a truck is like, the next logical move.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to have this girl, Anna, that worked for me, and she actually worked on a truck for Pittsburgh Po' Boy, and they're now Steve and Benny's chicken truck. But I talked to him. He gave me the game, hooked me up with this gentleman that builds the trucks, Kevin Heenan. He talked with him, and then I spent I bided my time to find the perfect truck that I wanted.
Yeah, like
You know what I mean? I wasn't in no rush.
well, whenever you're like you as someone, because you have some pretty complex dishes at the restaurant, but your mindset was you wanted to do cheesesteak and wings and fries.
Yeah. And well, my mindset behind it was honestly, and like that was also my first business plan to have a truck well before I had a restaurant.
Yeah.
Because my theory was I was like Charlie's Steakery's the busiest place in the mall always. So
Yeah. You fuck with
can't-
Charlie's?
fuck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I eat it. I don't think I've ever had a bad
nostalgia.
time.
No, it's always good.
Crush my stomach the next day, but it's all right.
It's Bella. But yeah, like that was my thought process. And then there was like no cheesesteak truck. So I was like,
What's a cheesesteak truck? I thought
another food truck.
Yeah.
So when I was thinking of it, I was like,
now.
why isn't that out there yet?
Now I want you to speak to me on the cheesesteak because I had a couple questions that revolved around this. So
Heard that.
first of all, the best place for a cheesesteak in Philly. A lot of people say Pat's. A lot of people say Jim's. Do you have a cheesesteak spot that you go to when you frequent Philly?
To be honest with you, I always was a fan of like just the local pizza shops over all those fucking played out places.
Yeah, you got to wait in a line
right
around
up
the
hill
block.
from where I'm from, like a well-known one that people say is one of the best which I thought was one of the best is Delisandro's.
Delisandro's.
Yeah, up in Roxborough.
Oh wow, I've never been there. I don't think. I think I had.
I lived in Manayuk in like the neighborhood at the bottom of the hill, and Roxborough was like the top of the hill. So I was like fortunate enough to like live there. But like within the city, when you're not talking about the three big names,
Yeah.
Delisandro's always comes up.
I remember whenever I went there and like, I can't remember who told me it, but maybe it was Boyd who put me on some bad game, but he was like, go to this place. And I waited
He's a
there
Jim's
for,
guy.
he's a Jim's guy. He waited
yeah.
there for like 45. I waited there for 45 minutes and I was like, bro, ain't even that good. Cause there was some other, but he was talking it up like everything, but there was another spot that was like a fast chain. Swear they had better cheesesteaks. Honestly, the Whiz was fire. Maybe I just had an off day there, but now your
Jim's does got a nuts line 7 days a week.
7
Every
days.
time you're on South Street, 7 days.
It was insane. I was like, there ain't no way that this is happening. I'd take my chances on a little bit less mediocre cheesesteak than wait in that line. But I want you to speak on the cheesesteak because yours is always talked in high regard.
Thank you.
Dave from Dianoia's speaks about it. Chad from Millie's said, will you set up a lunch kitchen in Millie's so I could eat a cheesesteak every day?
I do whatever Chad wants.
Yeah, come with the check. He'll make it happen. But you have a pretty high regard for your cheesesteak. Now, what is important for you for your cheesesteaks?
To me, to be honest with you, it's all about the roll, bro. Like if you ain't rolling official, then you ain't doing shit.
You get your rolls flown in.
No, it's not flown in, but like I get them. It's more of a Texas via Omaha kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now, for you to for you to want to turn this truck into a cheesesteak truck, wings and fries, what is did you have any like roadblocks whenever you're making this truck? Like you said you weren't in a rush, so that was like a benefit, obviously.
Yeah, I wasn't in a rush at all, to be honest with you. Like me and my wife wanted to do something. Like we had this plan, like a rough plan of what we had for our life. and stuff like that. And so we said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go get a truck. So now we got to find the perfect truck. So like when you talk to like a builder and stuff like that, my man Kevin, he, it's ideal if you get A, B, C, D, like same as when you're buying a house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you have your ideal of what you want. So I had my punch list of what I wanted, and I just kept hunting. Shout out to Facebook Marketplace. I bought a fucking box truck on Facebook.
Facebook Marketplace.
Dude, I buy meat slicers, anything I ever need in life.
Facebook Marketplace got it.
All day.
It's ridiculous.
All day, son.
That's funny. How long? So for you to start the idea to when the truck was ready to go, how long was that a process?
Probably about a year.
Yeah.
Because I hunted for at least six months.
Yeah.
7 months for the truck. And then I found it in Columbus, Ohio.
Now, what's once you get the truck up and running, like what's the move? Like what's the culture of the food truck scene in Pittsburgh whenever you had that up and running? Like was there a lot of shit? Because I feel like there's a million places now.
yeah. There's a lot of trucks and stuff. Like I don't even know. Like I couldn't even tell you I know a quarter of them.
I know. I feel like there's ones that I just never see.
I only really speak to like maybe 2 of them, 3 of them. Like I don't know. Like I'm so caught up in my own shit in my own life. Like I don't work the circuit necessarily like everybody else does all the time and stuff like that. Like
yeah.
I got so many other things happening and stuff like that. Like. But like the guys I meet along the way and everything, everybody's always friendly. It's always nothing but love.
But I'm saying when you made this thing, was there a shitload of food trucks like there is now?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, there already was, because that was one of my main questions when I was thinking of doing it. I said to the dude, I was like, isn't it kind of saturated with a ton of trucks? And he was like, dude, you would be amazed. He was like, the money's out there. He was like, if you want one, he was like, I'm telling you, he was like, it'll work out.
That's
like,
wild.
right.
Yeah, and then you have it.
Oh, I believe it, because my initial dream in life was I told my wife and stuff like that. I was like, dude, we could work like real hard, like 6-7 months, and then not do shit for like 5 months in the wintertime and just kick back and relax.
Yeah.
And I see now, like, that's definitely a possibility if I was just me and my wife, but
yeah.
like 2 kids, like.
I know. Yeah. On top of all of this stuff that we're talking about, you got 2 kids now.
Yeah.
Whenever we talked last time, you didn't have kids.
Yeah, I got a pair of kids now.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Whole different equation into that.
Yeah. Awesome. The best equation.
The best equation.
Yeah.
Now, for you two, so I asked all these questions. There was some stuff that I want to get through because people were curious. I had a handful of questions come in. So you switch your menu up twice a year.
Yeah.
This time, the menu has a lot of new stuff on there. Someone said, what is your least favorite dish on the menu?
Like that's the thing. Like you would be amazed in how hard it is to
pick all that stuff
to get rid of things.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, over time, like I just brought the roast pork back. Like there's the time I'd have told you you're fucking nuts if I take that off my menu. And it left for a couple years. You know what I mean?
What, the porchetta?
Yeah. So like,
yeah, I mean, that's a banger. Like, it's absolutely
well, it's
unreal.
way better now than what it was. Like,
it's unreal.
It got
now.
dressed up now.
Yeah, well, it's looking real good right now
for sure.
Yeah, it's real good.
But I mean, to be honest with you, like, there's nothing that I like.
Is there anything that you just like? I know that you're not a big seafood guy.
Yeah.
But it's like, do you eat like the lobster crepe and stuff like that?
No. It's not on the menu no more either. But
the lobster crepe was fire.
It's fire.
It was.
Fire. I like it. It's good, but like
you just don't eat seafood.
I just don't eat seafood. Like I
very weird to me.
I'm not going to sit there and eat a whole one of those things.
Yeah, that's fair. It's very weird to me. What's the dish you're most proud of out of all of your menus? It's like what do you think is you're the most proud of?
I guess I don't know. I guess I'd have to say them wings, bro. Like,
it got to be the wings.
It's got to be like
the
that.
wings.
Like that's one thing that is done well for me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's unreal. When did so I want you to kind of give the origin of how the wings came into play, because I don't know if we ever kind of talked about that. Did you ever think you'd be someone that would be a purveyor of fine chicken wings?
No, Not at all.
Because I mean, I could 100%, or it's arguable that you have the best wings in the city.
Yeah, I mean, I took the wings inspiration from a place that was a restaurant in Cleveland that was called the Greenhouse Tavern. It was like a real nice place, like 15 years ago or something. And that's the first time I ever seen that associated with chicken wings. You know what I mean? And confit in a wing.
Yeah.
Like, I never saw it like that before.
Were the wings always on the menu at the restaurant?
I don't even know.
When did you open?
Oh, at my restaurant?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the spot I first saw a confit wing at.
Fuck that place.
It's not there no more.
It's always been on your restaurant though?
Yeah, I started doing it at this restaurant I ran for this other guy.
Oh. And that's where you perfected it.
Before I did this one. Because I saw that in Cleveland years and years before.
Yeah.
And it stuck in my mind. And then I started fucking around trying to figure it out.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Whenever you try to like, you know, come up with these new types of dishes, like on the menu, I don't even know how to say half this stuff. Rojamo. That was close enough.
Yeah, good enough.
Now, that was basically, you know, that's kind of like the new 2.0 of a steamed bun. I mean, they're apples and oranges.
No, they're totally different buns and shit. Like
apples and oranges.
Yeah, the steamed bun's steamed, and this thing actually
has a crisp on it.
Yeah, gets a crisp on the bun and stuff like that, and it's a totally different bun too.
Now, how do you come up, like where do you go for your inspiration for these? Like, how do you come up with these things? Because I feel like no one's ever heard of these.
Well, researching markets and bazaars of the world. Like, I'll think of a market in a region, or think of somewhere I haven't really got anything from, or some type of culture I want food from.
Yeah.
And then I'll find a market or bazaar. And then when I find that, I'll start researching food of that bazaar or market, and then I'll find what it is and get down to the brass tacks.
So you'll just make it without even trying it?
No, I mean...
Like, what if you can't... Like, where do you find Rojamo or whatever?
Well, I mean, that one's actually... Like, I got to order some goofy spices for that one. Like, I had it on one menu, like, my second or third menu ever. Like, that's the thing about, like, right now that's, like, kind of beautiful after the whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
All fucking, like, a lot of your original regulars and your clientele, at least for me. Like, I'm speaking for me.
Yeah.
Everybody's gone. Like, everybody moved on. Like, everybody moved out of the city, had kids, or, you know, just went and did other things in life. So, like, it's a period in time now where it's like there's a lot of people that are just seeing you for the first time ever. So it's almost like a fresh restart. Like, I'm not one of these big ass named places that everybody knows about and shit. I'm not a household name in Pittsburgh. So
you don't think so?
No, not at all. Not at all.
That's interesting to hear about. So you think the people that frequent your restaurant now is a new crop of people?
Completely, bro. All my most of my original regulars and everybody that like pulled me through in life like that in the beginning when I first started and stuff like that. None of them they're all gone nowadays, bro. Everybody grew up or
that's
gone.
interesting.
I've been there 6 years now, like in Southside or like in the city and stuff like that in general. Like, you know, people will live in a neighborhood and stuff like that for a handful of years. Not everybody's a lifer like me.
Yeah, I guess.
Don't leave Southside.
I guess I moved away too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's interesting. I definitely don't frequent down there as much as I do because I'm a little bit further out.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? And there ain't, and I mean, that's just how life goes. But like, that's a thing like with like Rojamo and stuff like that. Like, that's an old dish. But like to a lot of people,
that's new. To me, that's new.
To you, it's new.
Now that was great. I had
that was
that.
Like probably that was before our time.
Yeah,
that was before me and you ever got down and shit like that.
Yeah.
So like it's brand new to you. You never saw it either.
Yeah, I never saw that. I was like, man, that's crazy. Then the aloo tiki.
Yeah,
I had that before. That shit's banging though.
Yeah, that thing was always a hitter back in the day.
Something back on there that's new. The panino's new.
Nah, that's all.
Yeah, but it's like, when was the last time that was on?
4 years ago.
Exactly. It's newish.
But that's my point, bro.
Yeah, like I would have never known that. Chopped cheese, Taylor pork roll. Now, I want you to tell me about this because I've heard about this numerous times. Joey Diaz talks about the Taylor pork roll all the time. You know, big fan of it. Jersey thing?
Yeah. Jersey, Philly. Like, I lived in Philly for 5 years, so...
Come up on that mic a little bit.
I'm starting to slide in the chair.
Starting to slide a little bit. Now, Taylor pork roll, though, that's another thing that's like, you know, that's one of them things that, like, you know, everyone does. There's an art, there's a way of art to it, you know, like...
Yeah, you got to layer it when you build a sandwich. You got to get meat, egg, cheese, meat.
So that's something that, like, you, like, came up on.
No, that's a fucking standard over there. Like, I've had that a bunch of times.
But that's like, so that's something you were hip to, though.
Yeah, that's something I was hip to. Yeah,
I never, I just
pork roll doesn't like you don't go to anywhere in that whole area. Like, that's on a menu with bacon and sausage. Like, you can't go to a breakfast place and like it's not on the menu. Like, it's on the menu.
What is just ham?
Yeah, it's like a ham roll, like
a big Slim Jim type of shit. It's like bologna.
Yeah, it's in the tubular meat family. You know?
It's a big hot dog.
Yeah, it's a big type thing.
So that's something new that I got to try too. I got to go cross everything off there. Okay, another question. Well, what's a personal favorite dish in the city? You got a spot that you're not affiliated with that you would hold up there to be iconic to you?
I mean, to be honest with you, like are we talking like a nice meal?
I mean, give me a low end meal and a nice sit down meal.
For me and where I'm from, like in my side of town and stuff like that, like sitting down at Dish or sitting down at like Alla Familia, because like for me, like that when there was no food scene and like it isn't like it is today, like that's all there was those two places. Like that was
for higher end.
Yeah, like that was the nicest place you're going with your girl.
Now, what about, okay, so, these are a couple good questions I was curious about. How do you choose your steak cooked?
Oh, me, medium rare.
Are you a medium rare guy?
Yeah.
What do you feel about like people that cook their steak a little bit overdone medium?
Different strokes, different
folks. You're not one of them people that are like, you know, disgusted by it?
I have a lot of feelings about a lot of things.
A lot of feelings about a lot. What's your preferred cut of steak?
Me, I like a New York strip, but like if I'm a porterhouse guy. If I want a little touch of filet on there too. I still don't understand all the different cuts of it. I was at the butcher shop the other day, and it's like you got like Delmonico, you got a strip steak, you got like a porterhouse. Like I don't get all the differences. I mean, a porterhouse is a New York strip with a filet. Like it's a T-bone. A T-bone's the fucking New York strip on a bone with no filet. That's why it's a T. But then you put the little piece of filet meat on the other side of the bone, then it becomes a porterhouse.
Ah, see, we're learning. We're learning. Someone said, what are some of the most important tools you could have in your kitchen?
Like a sharp knife. Real shit.
A sharp knife.
A short fucking knife. Stop having a dull ass blade.
A sharp knife.
Yeah.
That's the best. Now, something new that you kind of maybe this isn't new, but your dessert menu on the menu now is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I'm trying, bro.
The cheesecake. Now, last time we talked, you said you're not a baker at all.
Not at all.
Where does the inspiration to make a cheesecake come from for you and have on your menu? Because it's simple yet, you know, classic. And how do you perfect it the way that you did? Because it's pretty fucking good.
For one, I didn't perfect shit. I was shown how to make a good cheesecake by my girl Shannon.
Well, there you go.
And we used to have cheesecake du jour on our menu, like, you know, in the beginning. And I had employees that made it first. This Kitty Andrew that worked for me started it. And then after he moved on, my girl Shannon took over doing it. That was working with me. Shannon opened the restaurant with me. And then she showed me how to make a cake properly and stuff like that, and real good. And I just didn't want to be burdened. Like I said, I'm no baker, so I didn't like fuck around for a couple of years. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
And I started last menu. I said du jour, and I was making different ones and stuff like that. And then I found this one that sold like a son of a bitch. So I was like, "Yeah, we'll just stay right here."
You like a cheesecake?
That one I do, yeah.
Are you?
And I don't really like anything I make on that kind of level where I'll be like the chopped cheese, like, yeah, that's fucking dope. like that's awesome. Like, but like that cheesecake, like, and I don't even like sweets and stuff really. And
the cheesecake was really good.
It was really good.
I'm not usually someone that orders it, but Antoinette ordered it, and I had a bite. It was banging.
Yeah, it was really good.
Now, the lemon ice box is something that I did order. I'm not a lemon guy ever, but I ordered that thing because I was like, why not? And that thing I was real impressed by.
Yeah, I was real impressed by that one too, and stuff like that. And for the magnitude it sells, because like I've sold like lemon tarts and stuff like that, which is like slightly different when you make the lemon curd, you know, for the dish, the lemon filling and stuff.
Yeah,
like, it's different than how you make the ice box, but like it didn't sell like this one does. I don't know if it's the wording of ice box. I mean, they're both kind of along the, you know, like brother and sister, the two things, a tart and this icebox pie and how it's made. But
it was pretty.
This one sounds like a son of a bitch compared to that one.
Yeah, for someone who doesn't really like onion, or I said onion like an idiot. I don't know where that even came from, but lemon, pretty crazy. Yeah. And then you have the s'mores ice cream sandwich.
Yeah.
Now, whenever you know, like I've always been curious about this, you know, I always thought it was fascinating. Once I started getting into watching cooking shows and stuff like that, Gordon Ramsay, okay, he always talks about the size of a menu on in someone's restaurant, because someone that has like 4 pages of a restaurant, or 4 pages of a menu, you know, they're just doing a bunch of things that they're not good at. He basically was saying that, you know, just have a menu, the shit that you're good at. Yeah. You know, whenever you're a chef, like how do you determine how many items you put on your menu, and how do you kind of determine, like, you know, what you cut out, what you keep on, you know, like how does your mind process that?
I mean, like, to be honest with you, like back to like one of the first questions about like, you know, what, you know, what's your least favorite and stuff like that. Like everything on the menu pretty much sells.
Yeah.
There's only been a couple things throughout the years that I've ever put on my menu that were like what? Like what are things that didn't sell for you? To be honest with you, one of the biggest heartbreaking things was, but it was me early in the game learning my lane.
Yeah.
So I put those like jar salads that I used to do on the menu, and I was like, sick. People were really into that, and I was like, maybe we'll try a couple small entrees.
What do you mean?
Like actual like entrees, not sandwiches.
Okay.
Like an entree.
Yeah.
Like I did a apple cider braised pork shank.
Oh,
and then
wow.
I did a lamb stew called a French lamb stew called a daube.
When did you do these?
Polenta.
A while ago.
Yeah. And I did those, and the sad thing is I was selling both those dishes for like $19, which is fucking insane, because in other restaurants I was selling those dishes for like $30 and shit.
Yeah.
And like nobody would even buy them.
Why do you think that though?
It's just not my lane.
That's interesting.
I had to learn where I was. I mean, I also used to be open like 11 in the morning till 2 a.m. too. I don't do that either. That was a whole lot of work for the kid back then.
No, that's interesting that you say that. It's like in the beginning, whenever you're like, you know, kind of making your own restaurant, and like, you know, your first, is there like what percentage of the things that are on your menu now were on there whenever you first opened up? It's like, was it the same?
Now this menu, literally the only things that are on there would be the arancini and the old style of pork I used to do.
The arancini's always been on there.
No, it just came back on after
I know,
on a couple of years.
but
and I'd have told you a few years ago I'd have never took that fucking thing
dude,
off the menu. But I took it off a couple of years.
Banging. Yeah. Absolutely. But so, I mean, like whenever you started this restaurant, like where was your mind at with what you wanted to make? Was it the same, kind of like street foods, like upper scale street foods.
Yeah, the menu was only one front of a piece of paper then, though, too.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know where I was going to do it. Like, it was so busy out the gate that I was like, fuck, I got to get a bigger menu.
Yeah, so
I got
like,
to get the back of a piece of paper.
so how do you like kind of, conceptualize that on like what size you need to make it? Like, is it kind of just like what you could handle yourself to make?
Well, now I'm well aware that like the size I have now, I couldn't possibly do any more than that. And I just stepped it back up. Like this menu, I filled in we made the font a little bit smaller this time around.
Yeah, because you had to
put more space.
Put some more space on
Well,
there.
I'm like back now to the size that I was prior to COVID.
Now, for you to, is it, is it a benefit to have like a bigger menu like that, or to just like,
It's funner because the thing is, if you don't have a menu that big, then you're stuck doing the
same shit over and over.
Because there's shit I can't get rid of. Because no matter how cool a shit you make, there's still the core items that on paper fucking beat everything always.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, and if you're going to go small, then you only have room for one cool thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you're stuck making cheesesteaks and pressed fillets forever.
You don't have no fun.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's interesting to think about that. I also, one thing that I was curious about that people said, I'm
kind of stuck. There's so many people ask so many fucking questions.
Yeah, dude, just random stuff, dude. Random stuff. Another person said, you have only the confit wings. Okay. Why aren't where was your mindset whenever, all these places have like a fuckload of sauces, all this shit.
That's the theory, is that like behind the whole business is that like, I don't want to do the same thing as everybody else.
Yeah.
Like in general, you can go to most places and like, it's the same buffalo chicken wrap and like all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? The same type of bar food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not a bar. Like I'm a restaurant that happens to have a bar.
Yeah.
And that's the way I view myself. And that's the way my numbers reflect myself too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, that's who we are. We're a restaurant. We're not a bar.
I was always like kind of impressed because in the beginning when we talked, you were kind of like anti-ranch. Now you make a delicious ranch, and you kind of adapt to the everyday because it's important. And then on Streets on the Fly, you came up with a buffalo chicken. I have yet to have it yet, but I'm gonna get there very soon. Now, your mindset, like for you to like add extra stuff to, the food truck, is that difficult to like kind of just like kind of cause an audible and add some stuff in and just like kind of pull different things out? Like the reason that I was even thinking about that is because like I feel like on that truck, it's a well-oiled machine. You only have a little bit of area to keep shit. Mm-hmm. Obviously you want to be able to appease everyone, whether you got to sell 50, 100 cheesesteaks, but you have a different item on the menu now. So like, what's your mind whenever you like account for like these portions of what you got to make and everything? Is it kind of just like, let's see how it goes at first?
On the truck, it's all about how much refrigeration you have. like that's literally it. Like the new things I put on and stuff like that, the buffalo chicken is I knock the meat off the confit wings. And crack them off. And to backtrack real quick, my theory on having the confit and the wings and stuff like that instead of a bunch of flavors and shit, is like everything I do. Like I don't want it to be the same as everything else. Like everybody just does sauce. Like no one does nothing to the chicken. Yeah. So that was my theory behind having confit wings and shit like that. Is that
now explain what that is?
It's just submerging it in grease and cooking it like that first, and then frying them up.
Making it, doing that special dance to him. Yeah, flicking the wrist a little bit. Now, for you to, be where you are with the truck, be where you are with the restaurant, what are your goals? Obviously,
just be happy.
Yeah, just be happy.
Like that's not even it. Like I'm not some dude that wants to. have a bunch of places. Like, I'm probably not going to have anything else, to be honest with you. You know what I mean?
Maintain.
Like real shit, though. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not some guy fit for world domination. Like, I'm some guy that just wants a slice of his pie.
Well,
like, that's it.
You know, I don't even know if you want to even kind of get into this, but me and you were talking, you know, we text back and forth, and you were talking to me about how it's like, you know, even whenever I had the party, you were short staffed.
Yeah.
You know, I guess that's just like the world nowadays with the restaurant world. You know, everyone's short staffed. It seems to be anywhere you look, people are short staffed.
Yeah.
You know, how do you adapt with that? Obviously you have a family, you got people.
Just work more hours.
Yeah. Bro. You just gotta make shit happen.
Yeah, that's it. Like I said, bro, it's that's just how it is, man. Like, you want to, like,
gotta do what you gotta do.
Do what you gotta do. Like, there ain't nothing else you can do.
to champion off of that, you know, to be short staffed, the party went off without a hitch. Without a hitch, bro.
Yeah, it was a good one.
It was a very good one. I appreciate you guys down there a lot.
I had a good time at that, and everybody that came was fucking great. And like, I mean, just the evening overall was just an amazing, amazing time.
Yeah,
thank you for letting me be part of it.
Absolutely. I wouldn't have it any other way. I was pumped about it as well. Okay, so now, is there anything that you haven't done yet that you like really want to kind of get into?
Like, I mean, to be honest with you, like, I have a whole list of shit like in a book that, like, when I hear of stuff, I write it down. Uber drivers, talking to Uber drivers, like other people from other countries and stuff like that, like, it's amazing. Like, you know, just having conversations with people and being a nice dude. You know what I mean? Like, I've gotten so much cool shit that like sits on my menu now from that.
Just word of mouth.
Just talking.
What happens? Do you ever have people, you know, obviously the food that you're serving on the menu is different cultures and stuff like that. You ever have people from that culture come in and try that certain food, you know, and kind of give you feedback on it if you kind of do it proper or not?
Yeah. Those have always been great compliments I've gotten over time.
Because I feel like they could be, you know, could be good or bad because people were like, you ain't doing this justice, or they could be like, this is banging.
Yeah. Obviously you catch a couple of those ones that are like, you know what I mean? Like, this ain't really like it, but like not bad. Like, and it's all right, cool. Sure enough.
That's all right though. That's
but with
cool.
that compliment but with that half-ass compliment, you get good ones, people from the region too, that are like, oh, this is amazing. So, you know what I mean?
Worth more.
That's just how food is. Like, it's, you know, we all taste different.
Yeah, for sure. I do an ending segment with everyone called Desert Island Questions. All right, Desert Island Questions. Whenever I give each guest 3 categories to take with them on a desert island to exhaust until they starve to death and die. First category, 3 things to watch on a desert island.
Me?
I can't remember what you chose last time.
It's
always different though.
I haven't watched nothing recently since.
Yeah,
I think so. Like, I know I definitely said The Wire for sure.
Yeah,
because that's my shit.
That's next on the list.
Yeah, for sure. Probably Sopranos too.
Yeah,
I'm a big HBO type dude back in the day. Yeah, I don't know.
You don't got a movie? Eddie and the Cruisers?
That's a fucking heater. I'd take that to the island any day.
There you go. That's fair.
I'll take that with me.
I don't know if we ever got to talk about it though. Maybe we did, but you know, I finished with The Sopranos. Did we talk about like, how did you think how it ended?
Bro, like, to be honest with you, I was eating a steak dinner when it ended, and fucking, I thought the cable went out. I was like, dude, what the fuck just happened?
You think he died?
Yeah, for sure. He got shot.
All right.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel differently about it.
Because what did Fool say? Like, you know, right before that, he's like, you don't even know when it's coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Didn't somebody say that? Was it Sopranos that happened?
I don't know. I can't rember, but
I watched so many fucking mafia shit.
I know. You know what I just watched that was like crazy was Yellowstone.
I want to get it. I want to see that. I'm a fan of Cowboys and Costner. You know,
dude, it's literally a Cowboys version of The Sopranos. Yeah. I watched 4 seasons in like way too quick. But I just finished the last episode on Saturday. They're about to make another season in November, but it's pretty incredible. I'm a big cowboy guy, and it's incredible. Modern day cowboy gangsters, and they got a pretty cool, it's a pretty cool cast of people. It's pretty wild. It's definitely something to make time for. Okay, so did you give me the third one? Oh yeah, Eddie and the Cruisers.
Yeah, I'll take Eddie and Cruisers with me.
Okay, 3 places that you frequent in the city to eat that you're not affiliated with, that you want to, that you want to put some people onto some good shit.
Denoyes, honestly, that's only a conflict in schedule why I don't get to go there all the time. You know what I mean? That's an amazing place that stands out in my mind right out the gate. Monday nights, I'm only saying this because I saw one of my buddies was there the other night on Monday, but there's not a lot of shit goes on Monday nights.
You guys are closed on Monday?
Yeah, Monday and Tuesday. But Butter Joint got an amazing burger and pierogies.
Where's that at?
Over in the fucking, what is that? The back of Oakland, shady side.
It's called Butter Joint?
Yeah, it's called Butter Joint.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
These amazing. The other restaurant, I don't know if they closed. I think they made it one big thing. Legume. Did you ever hear of Legume? I think that's the one it was. That was right next door. It was dressed up, and it was the bar side was Butter Joint, and then the fancy restaurant was the other side. I believe it was called Legume. Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't quote me.
That's all right.
Awesome Monday night spot to go and eat. Me and Bo from Quick Trip. I think that's who I was talking to about it.
There he is. Shout out to Bo.
Yeah,
past guest on here.
My man.
Showed up at the party. I was pumped to see him.
Yeah, that's my dude, bro. I love that kid. Love him.
All right, third choice. Are you someone that orders a default? Do you have a default meal that you order at places?
I had one because I just had a fucking relationship breakup.
Yeah.
with my default. So
what was it?
I don't. Bro, that's who it was.
No, I'm not talking about the place. I'm talking about something that you order, that you're I'm a buffalo chicken person. If buffalo chicken is on a menu, I order.
You meant the restaurant in general.
Look, you're just throwing them under the bus. Why don't you like them? I'll cut it out, but why don't you like them,
bro?
Look, I'm marking it. I'm cutting it out.
Yeah. Well, you can tell the story. The story's actually funny because I wrote him a breakup letter, bro. Like a relationship.
I'm bleeping out the name. Then we're gonna leave this in.
All right, because it was my spot. I got kids. I can't fucking go nowhere, right?
Yeah.
And I know I hyped this place on the last episode. Probably. I think I hyped this.
I think you did too. Now that you say it,
I swear to God, I did. I've been eating this place straight couple days a week because they're open until 1:30 on Uber Eats. So I come home late from work.
They change the schedule.
Yeah, it's awesome. No, don't change the schedule. The food quality starts fucking going down a victim of the times, man. You
God
know what I'm
damn
saying?
It.
And then you watch their Uber rating go from 4.8. It was one of the highest rated places. It's down to 4.3 now.
Ugh.
I ain't the only one, bro.
I ain't the only one.
Dog, one time, I always get my extra side of rice and shit, right? Send me French fries. I had refried beans and French fries and then an extra side of French fries. Who the fuck wants that with fajitas, dog? Are you kidding me? And then you're always forgetting the fucking tortillas and shit. Bro, it started getting bad. Always forgetting something. Quality's just shit.
It's crazy.
And then, I ordered it a couple weeks ago. Was giving it a rest. Was bro, because I just a little basic chicken and rice at night. You know what I mean? That's it. So, I ordered, dude. Shit's missing. The chicken got burnt grill pieces because they didn't clean their grill before they fucking cooked it. It was so bad. Because I've ordered there, because when you order from a place repetitive, a fucking animal, it'll tell you you've ordered here 83 times, and it's wow, God. I feel like a fucking piece of shit. What a fucking piece I am. You know what I'm saying? And so I was able to write them to leave a review because I'm getting refunded and all this shit. and they're like, leave a review for the owner to get emailed. And I was like, you were my favorite. I ordered from you. I gave him a relationship breakup letter and told him like, I loved you and like you broke my heart. Like this will be the last time I order from you.
That's crazy.
And I don't even have a fucking like Yelp app or any of that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't believe in any of that, but it was like, damn, dude, like that was my move, and it was so fucking good for so fucking long. Like
Nothing
that's
gold
like
could stay.
Literally the only time I've ever wrote a review on anything in my life, and it's only because it said it's an email to the owner, and I was like, bro, like your place is slacking so bad. Like you were my move for so long. Like I don't know what you need to do over there, dog, but you're
You better
losing
get
it.
your shit together.
And I told him, I was like, I can see your ratings are falling, so I ain't the only one, B. Like
Saying just one off.
yeah, you ain't just fucking me.
Are you someone that like, you know, obviously you were born in this, you were molded by the food industry. Now, what type of shit do you know, like, do you take that, how do I even want to phrase it? As someone who works in that industry, when shit happens like that, do you get more pissed or are you more understanding, do you feel?
No, I'm way more understanding. Like I said, like I've never ever written a review to anybody in my entire fucking life. And I
Yeah.
would never write a review on a business ever to hurt anybody detrimentally. But like, cause it said it went to an odor. That's why I said something.
Yeah,
but like,
rather than just like a public.
yeah, I don't do that. I don't believe in smearing the shit out of people and stuff.
I think I said it on here before, but like, I mean, I know I have, but I don't think we've talked since that day, the weekend that I filled in at the restaurant, just running that shit. And I feel like that it's such a very, very important thing. Anyone who has any sort of capability of reviewing things, they should have to spend a night or two just looking at a kitchen, just running food to be even having a Yelp app, because a whole different level of respect just by, I wasn't even doing nothing except taking one plate of food downstairs. It was just like chaos to see. And like, it gave me a whole different level of respect as someone who never worked in the food industry really, and never was like in a kitchen on a Friday or Saturday night when, you know, shit's popping and tickets are piling on.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where like it you know, like if you've worked in it and done it and stuff like that, like
People understand.
yeah,
but
you understand.
if you're one of them people that are like, you know, I got 7,000 reviews on Yelp, you could burn in hell, basically down to that. You don't have to say it, but I'll say it. Okay, so you gave me.
It's on there for real, though. Like I don't look at that shit ever.
I'm not even talking about that, but I'm talking about 7,000. Like, there's people that are on there that just have like a big Yelp account that they just like make it a point to review everything.
And they're reviewing gas stations too.
That's what I mean.
You know what I'm
That's what I
saying?
mean. It's like, I ain't got time for that, brother.
Like, because when I first opened it, me and my wife would peep over there at it, I would always say, go look at what else is this guy up to? And like, you look and he's like talking shit on
Interviewed Sandcastle.
Wendy's and like, and the BP and like, bro, like, come on. Like,
As a chef, you know, who's been in it for a minute, like, what type of, like, does that stuff ever, like, you know, does that cut you a little bit deeper? Any sort of like criticism or anything like that?
no, dude, because like over the years and stuff like that,
Callous.
like the things people have said directly to my face and shit, like just unruly customers and stuff over the years and stuff like that. And like, I don't get a lot of it at all by any means. And I'm not talking specifically about my business.
Yeah.
But like over the years and stuff like that, and just dealing with the public, like the things said and the things you've seen and shit like that, it's like, whatever, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Cool. Like I had some chick screaming at me a couple days before Christmas. This was like, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It was like literally the day before Christmas Eve. And it was like our last shift. This lady was cussing me out over not putting ketchup in her bag. And I mean, like literally like talking probably like up there with one of the worst people
Like a sailor.
at me ever. And it wasn't even over no money or nothing. It was over
just
ketchup.
That's crazy.
It was over ketchup. And she's telling me, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this burger? And I was like, I don't know, man. What you want me to do? I was like, she's like, fuck you, fuck your restaurant. Who the fuck don't put ketchup? I'm like, damn, dude. I'm like, over some ketchup for real? And I'm like, at that point, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm talking to you as a human now. I'm like, damn, over some ketchup for real? Like this is where we're at. I said, tomorrow's Christmas, right? Yeah. Like, shit. I'm like, fucking hell. I was like, way to close out the year for me.
That's terrible.
And I don't put ketchup in bags.
Bro,
like,
people want them Heinz. People want that Heinz.
Like, I'm supposed to be wasting money throwing fistfuls of ketchup.
I know. People are just throwing shit away.
Like, you want some ketchup? Holler at me. I got you on all the ketchup you want.
Yeah,
Am I throwing fistfuls of PC ketchups in there? No, I'm not. I'm just not.
Oh, man. It's crazy to think about that. Okay. Third category, 3 CDs to take with you.
3 CDs to take with me. Liquid Swords, for one. The Jezza. What the hell else do I want to listen to? Best of Teddy Pendergrass all day. And
it's all right. I'm going to cut out
taking some Gucci with me.
Some Gucci?
Yeah.
It's all right. I'll give you the Pandora station.
There we go. I'll take it.
Okay. Third to last question is the death row meal. So, like that? The death row meal.
Changed.
Yeah, things done changed over here. We're leveled up, son. So death row meal is obviously something, your last meal before you get put to death. I need an appetizer, a main course, and a dessert.
An appetizer, a main course.
It don't need to be like a certain from a place or anything if you want, but like
just
a
what
meal.
I would like. An appetizer. I like a good chicken wing.
Yeah.
I'll eat a chicken wing. Main course, I'm sticking with my mother-in-law's pork, rice, and beans, the Puerto Rican special. I'm eating that for sure.
I think you've said that all 3 times you've been on here.
Yeah, it ain't going to change. I'll say it 30 times.
That's fair.
Like, lace me up. I'm ready to go. And then for dessert, bowl of ice cream.
What kind of ice cream are you?
French vanilla.
Okay, that's fair. Are you a topping person?
Nah, straight up.
Straight up.
That's it.
Okay, this is going to be a interesting question, but if you had to choose another chicken wing to eat besides your own in the city, whose would it be?
Big fan of. I'm a neighborhood guy, of course. Big fan of Fatheads, as corny as it is, and
they got a good wing there.
Fucking amazing. Some people argue with like they got some of the best in the entire city. And
I've never had their wings.
Fire, bro. I love them. I love them.
I don't know the last time I've been to Fatheads, honestly.
Bro, the thing is like that's one of them like comfort things for me.
You frequent the Fatheads, huh?
Yeah, well, I'm kind of fucked up on it right now because they're closed Monday and Tuesday now. I'm closed Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, so
they close at 10. I close at 10.
God damn it!
So I've been in a paradox and telling my wife for like 2 weeks because I ain't ate it in months now, and I'm like, I love their Bay of Pigs sandwich. Like, it's fire. Their take on a Cuban.
Now talk just real quick. I'm curious, like, as someone who chooses a day that they're open or closed, like in the food industry, why do you choose Monday and Tuesday?
Slowest.
Is it the slowest?
Yeah.
I guess that would make sense.
I mean, I was always closed Monday.
Yeah.
Just because I gotta have a day off.
Yeah.
But then over COVID and then having 2 kids and shit like that.
Gotta have some more time.
My wife was like, "Yo, I really like this 2-day thing," and I was like, "Yeah, me too." So
yeah, why not, right?
yeah. So it's cool. And I mean, now food truck season. I'm at Dancing Gnome every Tuesday and stuff like that. So I took one of my days and put it to work. So like Mondays and stuff like this, I got to go shopping. So it's 7 days.
There you go.
For a couple months.
For a couple months.
Half a year.
Now, second to last question. You're getting ready to go on a road trip and you get to pick one snack. What is your snack that you choose?
Gonna take, oh shit. So for the last like week, my midday snack has been out the BP gas station. I don't like cheese curls. Never liked cheese curls, right? But hers got these fucking jalapeno popper. Like,
Oh, I've had them. The puffs. Yeah, the puffs. I've had
Dog,
them.
I've had my midday fucking recharge and a bag of jalapeno poppers and one of these fucking Gatorades the past week and a half.
They're pretty good.
Solid.
They got a buffalo chicken one too.
Shut up.
They do. They have buffalo chicken ones. I'm pretty sure they're the same brand, but I've had them before out my way.
I've never liked the cheese curl in my life until I met these things a couple weeks ago.
A puffy cheese curl is not for me. I'll eat a crunched one. You know, it's like Little Giants. He says, "Are they puffy or crunched?" And he goes puffy. He goes, "Wimp." But okay, so that's a good answer. That's the answer though.
Yeah.
That's the jalapeno. That's good. Okay, now last question. If you could have a conversation with anyone alive or dead, who would it be and why?
I mean, are you talking like...
Not a loved one.
Yeah.
I can't remember who you... I wanted to listen to who you picked the last couple of times, but I didn't.
I don't know who the fuck I'd have picked. to be honest with you. Somebody interesting.
Yeah, got to be someone interesting. My picks change all the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What was your last pick?
I always I think the most that always pop up is like Richard Pryor or Robin Williams. You know, I would love to talk to either of them, but I would also love to talk to people like fucking Leonardo DiCaprio. Even though like I don't really give a fuck about like, you know, him being like super famous, but his life would be so interesting to hear about, being a child actor and making it not like Corey Feldman or something like that. Like,
yeah, he did. I mean, he was a scumbag in his own right. Like,
yeah, that's
he's
what I
never
mean,
dated
though.
anybody over 30.
That's what I mean, though. But he also was like, you know,
Never got caught up in bullshit.
Yeah, never really got
Kept
caught
his
up in
nose
anything.
clean.
Exactly. So it would be cool to hear some. And he's worked with like everyone.
Yeah.
So it would be cool to hear.
That's
know,
a pretty sick
yeah.
thought.
Leo would be sick to talk to. You know,
Leo
someone
would be
like that.
sick.
Corey Feldman would also be interesting. Corey and the Angels.
Yeah, I'd probably talk to Corey Feldman over him too.
I would love to talk to him, just to have a whole episode about the Lost Boys and like Stand By Me and just the hitters and just like kind of hear about all that. But
I talked to the ex-mayor Luke Ravenstall about what a scumbag he was in the city of Pittsburgh.
I should get him on here.
Yeah, you should look him up. Where's that dude at now?
I
He ain't
don't
doing
know.
shit.
What
That's
do you
who I
think-
want to talk to because he was a mayor at the same age I was at 28, and I was a piece of shit at 28.
Was he a mayor at 28?
Yeah, bro, he's the same age as me. He was like 27 years old, 28 years old. He was the
Man.
mayor of Pittsburgh. It was
I
up in
should
the
hit him
S bar
up.
next door with bro. He was out in Southside with dirty girls back in the day and stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could see him up in the window of the VIP and shit like that. Like, bro,
I should look him up for sure.
he ain't doing nothing. He would love to talk.
Him and Jeff Rosella in here. I gotta
Yeah,
get them both.
straight up. That's who I want to talk to. Luke Ravenstall.
That's a good answer. That's a really good answer. I swear to God.
The boy king.
I'm going to be looking him up after this. I don't know any, now before people listen to this, before I look it up, I don't know any of his prior allegations or anything, so don't hold it against me, but I'm going to be researching that. But as always, I appreciate you coming over and talking
Always,
to me about
brother.
this.
Anytime.
Give a second, or take a second, throw some shine onto all the good things you do.
Follow us on social media at Streets on Carson, at Streets on the Fly. Follow Streets on the Fly for where we'll be at your local breweries and stuff like that out there getting it on the truck. And come to the restaurant Wednesday to Sunday, 5 to 10.
You already know that. Streets on Carson on Instagram, Streets on the Fly on Instagram. Everyone else that's listening, I appreciate it as usual. Each and every week, we're talking to good people doing good things for the city. Thanks for listening. Call you right back.